Welcome back, Disc Golf World, to the back nine of the first round of the 2021 Delaware Challenge here from Newark, Delaware. We're at Iron Hill, one of the hardest courses in the world, and we've only had 2 bogeys on this card. Connor O'Reilly, bogey-free, and also sitting next to me in the booth. How we doing, brother?
Doing great. It's been a solid front nine. The back's a little harder to score on. We got some long par threes, some tight little par fours where if you don't hit your gap, it can spell trouble. But it should be an exciting finish.
You're already way up there on the leaderboard, though. Austin Hannum, the hottest round in, with the first card out. That 8 under is held up until now. We're headed to hole 10. Toughest hole on the course. Just a really hard birdie, Connor.
Yeah, especially with this ideal landing zone. If you don't get it far enough, you're right in this kind of muddy trough. Hard to get footing. You really got to push it out there far to have a good approach. And even the best drives here are going to leave you most of the time 350 feet on a dead straight line or a little bit of a flex.
Yeah, something flipping up. You got to maneuver your way to this green. And you're going to see a lot of guys going with this Anheuser super high. That looks good. Just don't fade out too far. Ooh, let's go.
Solid tree there.
That's dead center, man. That's exactly where you want to be.
I had been pushing it left in practice, so I kind of tried to adjust there, but now I see I did it a little too much. I wasn't quite sure if I hit a tree or not there, so.
And you did it just perfect. Andy, this is flexing out way too early.
It looked like it had the turn, but he just threw that one so high.
Yeah. Yeah, that was 50 feet high, probably. He could have gotten way down there if it would have kept turning, but.
Yeah, there's been a couple shots this round. He hasn't quite committed to getting his nose through the shot.
Seeing Adam disc down and go with that zone again. Give him a little cut roll. That's going to be pinched on that left side.
Yeah, he'll have another lean out flex forehand, most likely.
This should fit Raven's game pretty well.
Yeah, but like Andrew, he just gets that nose up a little too much. You really got to chop it over here.
That disc carried so far up there, though. You rarely see a disc in his position.
Yeah, it's not that far to get up to that landing zone, but it's such a specific and steep angle that the Frisbee just doesn't fly that far on that angle, so really hard to get a lot of distance off this tee.
That was a beautiful out from Andy from that position to get back into the middle of the fairway.
Oof, if Adam beat that tree, he would have made a lot of progress, but it's pretty tight over there.
Here we go. 364 dead center. You're going with that mid-range.
Yeah, going with that stable compass again. I really like this thing.
I love it. The lack of fade there at the end and allows you to catch that mulch they just dropped. Give yourself 18 feet for the birdie.
Yeah, pretty happy with that one. I didn't get many clean looks in practice on that hole, so just having a clean swing on the second shot and being up there on the flat was super huge.
Smart play from Raven.
Yeah, make some progress knowing that his next shot from there is going to be a pretty easy up and down. Showing some maturity with some of his decision-making so far.
Oh, my gosh. Beautiful pig shot from Andy.
Had him with that clear rafter.
Wow.
That's in his range. He's a really good long putter, so let's see if he can get that going here.
Yeah, his angles on that shot were perfect.
Just
like
that mulch
those.
nicely.
Yeah, all of you guys using that mulch nicely, man. It's placed for a reason.
Yeah, it's a hole that kind of has a backstop already almost with the upslope, but having that mulch there just really allows you to commit on that second or third shot.
Adam doesn't find the target on that 55-footer.
Yeah, catches some of those limbs right above him.
Sick birdie from Connor on the hardest hole in the course. We talked about it. Not many people getting the 3 on this one. Not many people getting where your drive was. That's really where you set yourself apart. Only 364 in.
Yeah, anywhere short of there, the footing is really tough, and it's an uphill angle, some muddy areas. So if you can get a distance off this tee, it's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to be too happy with that bogey there, but
A lot of people doing it. He's not dropping too many strokes. If you got a bogey a hole, that's the one. Headed into hole 11. Let me take a second and tell you guys about Swarm Digital, They design, develop, and maintain websites. If you're a small business owner that's looking for a website, SEO, maybe a logo, or just online reputation management, call Swarm Digital, mention GK Pro, and you're going to get a free consultation. We've already had some success stories from Swarm Digital, so you should go visit them. Tight fairway here. You're going with the tight fairway shot. Explorer.
And right there, I clapped, and I don't know. Was that karma, guys? If I didn't clap, do I beat that tree way up there into the jump putt landing zone?
That little kick left doesn't hurt you, though. The angles over there are pretty nice.
Yeah, I made enough distance to where that last stand of trees on the left, as you approach the green, isn't really going to be in my way too much.
And I thought Andy had done that perfectly. His little hyzer flip forehand was headed out to the left fairway. Kicks right. That'll be more difficult for him.
Yeah, you do want to push it and maybe finish just to the right through this long gap. I feel like there's a few less trees coming into the green there. But either way, if you make 400 plus feet of distance, it's going to make your upshot pretty easy scramble shot.
Yeah.
Adam taking that straighter onyx again.
See if you can bounce back after that bogey. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, another little double kick there with the bigger version, and that was very advantageous.
Definitely fortunate to be where he's at. And if he can throw something here. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's going to have a pretty easy cleanup for birdie there after a drive that could have cost him big, so time to regroup and start attacking.
Yeah, and he elected to go super wide left, which there is some new out of bounds over there that his disc was flying pretty close to if it had caught a tree and kicked left at any point. Andy, a little short right on that approach. He'll be left with another wooded shot. Oh, my gosh.
Or even hitting a tight gap. Oh, it skipped into the bottom of the cage, or maybe the koozie there. That was so close to going in. Raymond's hype.
From where your drive landed, just hit that window right there.
Yeah, I had backhand or forehand. I decided to go forehand. Either one were solid there. But
yeah, good choice. Ooh, yeah.
Kind of an ugly hole for Andrew, but take a par, move on.
Yep.
He's kept his card clean so far, so.
Yeah, he's had a couple of those pars where he's been all over the place, but got it together when it counted. Puts it in, no blood, no foul. You move on. This would be a nice one to get after
making sure I
getting
take
10.
my time, do my routine, even though it's a shorty.
I like that. People at home listening, watching, it's so easy to take that one for granted. That extra focus you showed.
Yeah, we're even nearly dunking one in there for us.
Headed into, I think, the tightest tee shot on the course.
Yeah, this one definitely makes you feel the most tense, I'd say.
Yeah. 520 feet. It's not the distance. It's not even the OB on the right side of this fairway that comes into play about now. It's just that tight tunnel and then this tight tunnel. And you've got to leave your disc short of this basket. Any disc that flies over these rocks is going to leave you like a 35, 40 footer with incredibly awkward footing. You really got to commit to this shot, Connor. What are you going with?
I'm going with my Pioneer, trying to kind of play something stable, flat. I'm a little early there, but I get very fortunate. That's a great spot.
Hey, you can't place it any better.
Yeah, when I got up there and saw how many trees I had to beat there, I was definitely saying my graces. Raven taking a putter here, trying to play it flat.
I do like the putter play, especially with a stable one like that disc appeared to be.
Yeah, I've been thinking about switching my play because you don't need more than 250 to 280 feet here to get yourself in a good spot.
Yeah. You see Adam not really worrying about going left at all, throwing that breaker mostly straight, putting himself in the hallway. Ooh.
It's a good first kick.
Yeah, nice little redirect.
It's not going to be a very easy spot.
No.
Now, Raven decided not to try to play back to the fairway, but it's thin enough over there where he decided he'd try to make some progress and see how far he can get.
Really?
Yeah, he got up there pretty nicely there.
Wow. Andy takes a couple tree hits, but the disc holds its angle and keeps on flying. It's forward progress.
Adam kind of having to short arm it with that tree in his swing there.
That was the same breaker he threw off the tee, I believe.
Shows good commitment, and that's a short one.
Nice little roll.
Yeah, he's broken a couple of these par 4 down putter. There's some notes to be taken there. Now, I kind of tried to get cute and throw this one in the basket here. I really should have just played it laser line, played it up left, and take my birdie look. But
you'll have a look at it. Andy's least stable pig, go in.
Yeah, those second two shots displayed a lot of touch and accuracy for Andrew there.
Man.
And here's where Raven got to.
No kidding.
Oh, please just don't do anything.
And he said before that putt, I can't lay up.
What about you? What are you thinking about?
Yeah, I got about 38 feet, and I'm playing good. I want this one. Just a little too much.
Committed bid. That's all you can ask for there, though.
Yeah, and those type of putts, I tell myself if I want to win a Disc Golf Pro Tour event, those are the kind of putts you got to be jamming. So, no decisions to make.
Yep.
Trust yourself. Let it go. Obviously, we're on the national tour here, so don't roast me for that. But a high-level event, nonetheless.
Talking about the elite level events, there is no laying up. There is no choice to make from there. You're right. Another good scrappy par from Andy to keep his card clean. Heading into hole 13, it is the most aceable hole on the course, but it's also a tight little line that you got to weave through late in the flight, Connor.
Yeah, you got to push your disc out flat for most of the flight. You've got these two trees with the paint on them. You want to beat this one just on the right as the drone did. Get up there. These rocks don't allow a lot to happen, so you really got to fly it into circle one to land into circle one for the most part.
Yeah, other than chunks being taken off of your favorite Frisbees.
Yeah.
And Adam's going zone for the 34th
Seems
time.
like sometimes those inside shots have a better chance of trickling forward to a putt than some of the clean ones do.
Ideally, yeah, he'd take that way further right. Ooh.
I love this one out of my hand.
What disc was that?
That was that compass again.
Okay.
Super loud as I was walking up. That was weird.
My stomach growled when I was running in my run up there, and I was debating on stopping. So.
See, you got away with a good one, though. Not terrible. He'll need to pay attention, though.
Some stuff to crash through at the beginning of his flight there for his putt, but he's got a chance. Andrew's kind of forced into a backhand here, even though he really likes that sidearm as much as he can.
Really?
Playing that fairway driver, and like I said, sometimes that inside gap is gets a little greasier than what you feel like the clean gap does.
Dude, that was steak and shake grease right there, dude.
A little solid from Raven, but he's been really steady from that range all day. Just about 1 or 2 revolutions too much, and
That's the edge of circle 2 that you're standing on.
yeah, except for I measured it with my rangefinder and found it at 57 feet, so we went ahead and made sure to get the stat correct on U-disc there, but yeah, you might want to check that hole.
Interesting. Yeah, we all got lasers in our bags nowadays. It's
Yeah, it helps you be precise with your decision making, and as many good competitors we have nowadays, you got to set yourself apart every way you can.
Outside of their circle.
indeed. Good putt from Adam.
Yeah, Raven's really been jamming them from that 22-foot range today.
Like you said, really steady.
I'm gonna get it to C1 on this hole one day. Haven't done it yet.
I believe he will with that attitude. It's a winner's attitude right there.
Yeah, it's crazy how much self-belief has an effect on the outcome of what you're doing.
Exactly right. Heading into our second of 3 back-to-back-to-back par 3s. This one, very long, very straight, Connor.
Yeah, you got to believe on this one, that's for sure. You got to be committed. A lot of players are going to hit a fairway driver here, try to get it to push straight for pretty much, I mean, it's pretty much a laser flight at 400 feet, and
Yeah.
we all know straight is one of the hardest things to do in this game, so it's a great hole.
I put my target left of the basket 25 feet and try and end up there.
Yeah, it's a smart play. Make sure you make that gap as big as it can be, and don't try to do too much with your flight.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, Andy sneaks by on the left side there. He's got a long look.
I caught the rock just right, too, and kind of turned it and extended the flight a bit for him.
Yeah, an extra 20, 30 feet can prove valuable in a long chance for a birdie. Adam turns it over, but he makes a lot of progress. He's going to have a root ball in front of him, kind of blocking his putt, though.
Just be gentle.
Yeah, a little too much on that one. Needed a little hyzer out of the hand.
That was the
Flat.
understable Explorer.
That was my straighter one, but
Yeah.
if I hit it flat, there's a little bit of headwind coming through that tunnel, and I was debating whether it was going to affect my disc or not, and I think it did a little bit. Yeah.
Not a bad kick either, though.
Anytime you trickle back into the middle on this course, you're
11 life,
happy.
dude. You've got this force over putter. Keep turning.
a little bit nose up.
Ooh.
But I catch a good side of that tree. I almost beat it, so
Yeah.
gave me a good kick.
Yep.
That was an inch or two away from being a 40-footer, but instead I'm left with about 18.
Yeah, you still gotta hit it though.
Yep.
Now Adam from basically pin high right of the basket. Looks like he's got a window.
Yeah, he's got that kind of root ball in front of him, but Adam's dangerous.
Ooh. It's just like stand still outside circle 2.
Yeah, he gets so much power on his putt.
Man.
He doesn't really need to jump putt until he's at like 80 feet or so.
Oh yeah. Speaking of jumpers, that's outside circle 2 as well.
Yeah, he started walking that one in. He knew it had a chance out of his hand. A little bit on the right side, but those high right side ones seem to drop.
Man, outfit looking clean today, Andy. So is that jumper. You see his hand just straight up, full release.
Yeah, it really pops it out of his hand early, right around waist level. Committed.
Nice one from you.
Yeah, a little bit of a sloppy hole for me, so put a little extra pressure on that putt.
Yeah. No pictures on scorecards, though. Moving on. No doubt. You guys are all making that range look incredibly easy today.
Yeah, this card has a lot of good circle one putters.
Disc golf is a relatively young sport, but its popularity makes it one of the fastest growing pastimes in the world. The PDGA is a not-for-profit, worldwide player organization dedicated to promoting the sport. Like a long drive off the tee, disc golf is soaring. So don't just be a witness to disc golf's explosive growth, be a part of it. Join the PDGA.
Headed into hole 15, the last of the back-to-back-to-back par threes, and definitely the toughest. And that last hole was super tough, but this gap and this angle you've got to hit are really something unique, Connor.
This is the most specific shot on the course in order to get a birdie. As a right-handed backhand player, you're going to need something really understable and a lot of hyzer to push straight. A lot of players are going to take a flex sidearm, try to maybe get themselves up to the right side of the green or get skinny through those left side trees if you want to get right at it, at the bucket.
Needed a bit more turn.
Yeah, Andy's nose angle's just been a little bit up all day, so if he can get that corrected, those shots are going to make a lot of progress.
Almost identical.
Yeah, I thought it might hit the same tree out of his hand, honestly.
It was a little bit worse, so it moved all the way up the fairway.
That's how the woods work sometimes.
Yeah, disc golf works. You're going that understable ride, got to beat that or get inside of it.
I hammered it pretty hard and just
Okay.
carried over and left the whole way it turned.
Yeah, you'll take that every day.
Yeah, putting back at the good side of it. Got the back slope behind the basket.
Totally.
Raven's a little high as well.
That was a super stable disc he threw.
Andy just cast from deep on the last hole, so.
Ooh.
Gives that one a chance.
Yeah, confident bid.
All right, Raven hasn't made a circle 2 yet, but he's looking for one. He's just a little off today. He typically is one of the better circle 2 putters on the tour.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen him go unconscious before, just drain everything he looked at.
And Adam just been a little high on a couple of long putts today.
Yeah, he has. Here you go.
I got to throw a little hyzer stabber and just didn't quite get enough pace on it.
You've been really close on a bunch of those bids today.
Yeah, I'm
Falling.
putting them close, but they've just been like 1 or 2 revolutions away from going in the basket.
Yeah. You got the line right.
Keeping the stress down, too, with my softer bids. Yeah, Andrew doesn't take much time on those 15 to 20 footers. Really confident putter.
Yeah, I like it. Don't complicate it. Don't overthink it. Pick a link. Let it fly.
Bunch of pars on that hole. That one's a really hard birdie to grab.
Yeah, such a hard birdie. Headed into 16. Easier birdie to grab, but not by too much. Requires a very specific tee shot. Trying to move your disc left to right. Getting it out in the open. Somewhere around that red flag you see there on the right. That'd be perfect. This is what you'd be looking at, Connor.
Yeah, the more progress you can make up into that right side, the shorter you're going to have into this green. But really anything that beats that bunker of trees up on the left through the gap, the initial gap, it's going to have a chance.
Yeah.
Forehand or backhand work here. Counterclockwise or clockwise spin.
And he's in the wide open. I'm guessing he'll throw a pig and hyzer forehand approach from there.
Yeah, that's a pretty ideal spot for the forehand. I'm guessing that's right where he wants to be.
Adam just a bit off tempo-wise last couple holes.
Yeah, I'm electing for the backhand here. I could throw either, but this tee box is a little bit slanted uphill and just throws my timing off with the forehand. So, choosing that backhand.
You got way up there, too. Stayed right, which opens up your angle. That's ideal. Not a terrible kick for either of those guys that hit early. Both of them around the fairway, which is, again, key here at Delaware.
Yeah, par's still doable for these guys, but birdie's pretty much out of the question without doing something pretty unreal.
That's a good recovery from Adam. Should be an easy par from there, somewhere around the 150 to 200 foot range.
Raven putting a lot into that one. Great looking angle. Oh, and that rock robs him of a little extra distance, but
Yeah.
that's kind of what this course does. You kind of expect your disc to
Stop.
most of the time stop where it hits.
Man. Andy just a bit tight with that.
Yeah, really showing how much he likes the sidearm there. Yeah, he had a good hyzer backhand option. Throwing my
Flex
straighter
out.
harp here.
Oh,
I kind of turf it, but get fortunate around the rocks.
a little bonus ramp job. Took flight.
Yeah, I felt pretty fortunate to get that reaction there. This course doesn't always offer those.
Interesting reaction there as well from Adam's disc climbing over that rock. A little bit of sarcasm there,
Yeah, Adam getting a little tired at the end of the round. Just
no doubt.
until he's ready to get off the course a little bit.
Yep, the humidity, the heat is definitely real today. It was like 90, 92 degrees out there with 80% humidity.
Yeah, chalk bags were getting used today.
There
And
we
sweat
go.
towels.
Great putt from you. You continue to keep the pedal on the metal, pushing it to 8 under. Do you know that you're tied for the lead at this point?
Right now, I'm feeling like the Disc Golf Network camera just came over, so I know, we're playing pretty good. I can feel that I'm probably pacing the card by a stroke or two, and so I know I'm right there in the mix. I hadn't actually looked at the leaderboard, though. I don't do a ton of that unless it's later in the tournament most of the time. I kind of like to stick to my game plan and know that if I execute the shots that I can, then I'm going to give myself a chance.
Absolutely. Yeah, the camera coming over, though, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah, you always know when that Disc Golf Network camera comes over that you're
Yep.
probably doing something good.
Yep. Headed into one of the best holes on the course, if not the best. This is Seppo Paiu's Eagle holes, I like to call it. Just an outstanding par 5 that plays uphill for the entirety of the hole. Good shots will land somewhere in this area. Great shots, I should say. And you'll be left with this little left to right moving shot up to this green, sitting on a mound, Connor. It's beautiful, isn't it?
I fell in love with this hole. It's the first time I played it. Maybe one of my favorites I've played ever this year, especially. And it's a great finisher. Can swing a lot of strokes, but it's also fair.
Yeah. It's an incredible test of disc golf right here. You're toning down a little bit, playing something straight.
Yeah, my name of the game out here in the woods is throw those fairway drivers. I know I can still get some good distance, and
Let's go.
got the ramp over the rock right there. Luckily, I hit right before the rock. Otherwise, that was going to lose a couple extra feet.
A couple milligrams of plastic as well.
Yeah. Especially on one of my favorite discs. I wouldn't like that.
Yeah, you throw that one well. Andy just a bit off.
Yeah, he was choosing that Firebird there, looking to kind of minimalize his fade.
Oh my
Just missed
goodness.
his line.
Adam carries plenty far enough to get past the initial trees on the left, get himself an open second shot.
Yeah, sometimes when you miss your line out here, it's thin enough where you can make a lot of progress. Raven loves it.
Yeah, that is good. He'll have a big anhyzer probably backhand from there. Sets up nice from that right side. You have the ability to use the ceiling on this second shot if you've, thrown your first properly.
Yeah, it's a beautiful hole, and we have about 60, 70 feet to work with ceiling-wise, so it's just such a unique feeling.
The trees are so large. The foliage on them doesn't begin until way up there. Gets the proper kick. Anything out of the fairway on this hole is definitely getting penalized. Here you are after that huge drive.
Yeah, and I just popped that nose down a little too much. I needed to give that one some air.
Trying to give it the extra little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I really wanted to rip on that one. When I didn't really necessarily need all that distance because I probably wasn't going to get up there for an eagle look anyways.
Oh, yes. Fly, baby, fly.
Yeah, Raven was excited to get up and throw that Anheuser shot, and he threw it very well.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
Doesn't hold anything back.
Yeah, Raven lets you know how he's feeling. That's for sure.
Woo! Andy is so confident with those gaps.
And
What
he
a
snapped that thing.
laser from him.
Sometimes when Andrew throws a big forehand, you can really hear a pop out of his hand, and that's pretty unique for sidearms.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I've got this rock that's kind of in my run-up.
Oh, yeah, the green one.
So I was pretty happy with that footwork and
Oh, yeah.
just turned it a little too much. Caught a tree, but still have a long bid for a birdie.
Yeah. Yeah, and a par on this hole is still good.
Yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to keep my card clean, and I know if I do that, I'll give myself a good chance.
Adam asking for a little more flex out of that fairway driver. He's going to end up pin high left of the green.
Okay, so I couldn't see this where I was, but that was a really technical shot.
Oh, my goodness.
Super high, flex it through the tight gap, using the creativity and the touch.
Go.
Sick putt from Andrew right there.
Are you kidding me? He probably couldn't even see the basket from where he was
Yeah,
putting
he was
from.
blocked off from the big tree, so he just had to hyzer it around there, made sure you know where the basket was, give it the spin, put the nose up. Cash game.
Oh, it tried to come out. Sick birdie from him,
Yeah, he deserved that one.
especially after that drive.
Oh, yeah, running up the beautiful steps.
It was that
Looking
second shot
majestic.
with that red destroyer he's got in his hand. He turned that thing over and got so much distance out of it
Yep.
through that tight gap.
Got a similar look over here on the left, and I'm inspired to make it.
Oh, no. What just happened, Connor?
Andrew made it. I thought I had to make it too, and I slipped. There was a mud patch on my left foot, and it slipped out about a foot behind me, and I tried to hold on to my disc, and it just...
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm left with this tight little Anheuser look. Should have went bag for my white putter.
It
So I
happens
could've
to the
thrown.
best of us.
Yeah, battling all around, and that one hurts.
Thank you.
That'll teach me to make sure to test my footing on some longer putts,
No
won't it?
doubt. No doubt.
Yeah, it's a pretty nervy putt. It's pretty short, but I've got that back slope. I just slipped.
Yeah.
My round was going great, and now I'm kind of like, whoa, what just happened?
Yeah.
I sneak that one in there.
Right. You missed that one. All of a sudden, it's a double when you had a birdie putt just a second ago.
Yeah, that would really rocked my world.
Yeah. Way to keep your head on. Bang that putt as we head into hole 18. Great finishing hole. 16, 17, 18 are some of the best finishing holes in our sport. This one is super challenging. Comes in as the second hardest hole on the course. It requires you to throw two very specific shots again, Connor.
Yeah, you got to push it really straight and long off the tee. The farther you go, the more options you might have gap-wise. There's a spot that they put you where you kind of have a hyzer to the green on the biggest part of the path, but really you just want to make as much progress as you can on a straight line here and then kind of take a scramble into the green from about 200-some feet. That's really early out of Andrew.
Just a little quick.
Yeah, he just hasn't quite had control of his body on the backhands today. He's been standing a little bit tall and needs to get that follow through down a little better.
All right, still good.
Ooh.
Though. I'll take it.
Yeah, he's right. Still really good. Was about to be great.
Adam's just been a little late, a little early. Hasn't really found his rhythm today. He's been scrapping it.
Yeah, still 5 under on the round.
Yeah, he's a talented player.
Flip a little more.
Oh, I'm a little inside, but I get some love. Maybe a
Oh my
little karma after the slip or something.
gosh, it could have been coming back to you. That was beautiful. Another 200 feet after that little kiss.
Yeah, forward kicks on this course are always very nice to get.
Oh yeah.
Like I said, you got to get a couple good kicks here and there.
Mhm.
Play a clean round on, or a good round on a course.
And you're
like that.
gonna experience the full spectrum of kicks during anybody's 18 holes out here. You're gonna get the good ones.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the bad ones. You gotta
Yeah, we've
remain
all had some of both.
emotionless when it happens. What'd you say?
Yeah, no, we've all had some of both. Some of the good, some of the bad.
Mm-hmm.
The less you let them stack up, though, the better you're gonna do.
Andy plays this high inside, kind of sneaky route. I saw Nico Castro play it the other day, just to get yourself around the corner.
Raven's in the pretty ideal spot here. You have kind of a tight hyzer into the green. He's just inside.
Yeah, I missed that thing about 6 feet left.
Got these beautiful big rocks blocking the green up there.
So you're going forehand roller.
Yeah, trying to. Still making progress, though. I've been
Yeah,
getting
I
some
did.
forward kicks on this hole, so
It did.
gonna be some shrubbery over there, but not too far from the basket.
No. Whoa.
Full commitment out of Raven.
Gets the skip, too.
Great shot.
Unbelievable
Laying
shot
out.
from him.
That's hard right there.
I think, like, all his forehands are a little bit of an air bounce, like an Anheuser air bounce, and that's exactly what that shot
That's what you need when you're throwing it from 6 inches above the ground. Andrew playing the touch
Oh.
backhand, played it pretty well, but he's 4 feet short of a park job, and
That rolled back like 50 feet.
the course just giving him a rough one. Yeah, Andrew's got like a edge of circle 2 putt left.
Oh my gosh. That thing got so lucky right there.
I throw this little stall forehand
Beautiful.
shot from there. Luckily, I had a window.
And you'll tap in a 7-under round with that, huh?
Yeah, pretty unfortunate to slip like that on 17, but can't be too mad about that round.
No. You've put yourself in a great position. As has Raven. Your whole card is done well.
Yeah, there's that double from Andrew. I think that's the only double stroke we had all day.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had their one little blemish or two, but we also scored a lot of birdies.
Tons of birdies from you guys. That was a pleasure to watch, honestly. The way that you guys just shredded that course, forehand, backhand. That should be a good little video to watch for people at home that just want to get better.
Yeah, this
A
card kind
tutorial,
of
clinic.
really just symbolizes kind of the modern game. Most of the guys are throwing both ways, counterclockwise and clockwise spin, and helps you make decisions on the course and avoid trouble.
Yeah, you got to have it. Bradley Williams, who has won this tournament before, or a tournament here on this course, shooting the hot round at 9 under, finish birdie, birdie, birdie. To do that, he'll be on the lead card with Matty O and Joel Freeman tomorrow. You getting PDGA numbered off just barely.
Yeah, it's something I'm getting a little used to,
Yeah,
as much as it stings.
yeah.
Just got to play better.
One day you'll be the old veteran PDGA number and other people.
That'll be nice to look back on.
And you're playing on a really good card tomorrow.
Yeah, we got Colton Montgomery, Ricky Wysocki. We know he's always dangerous. And Lance Brown had a really solid round, scoring 9 birdies to put him at -6.
Yeah, hot stuff from Lance. That'll be a fun one for you tomorrow. It's been a pleasure having you guys here with us. This has been the back 9 of the first round of the Delaware Disc Golf Challenge here in 2021. For Connor O'Reilly, I am Luke Humphries. We'll see you round 2.